Let's go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay, so good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joyce from Mauritius, and welcome to this session on the art of inner stability, unshakable. So, a few frames before we start. So, we already mentioned that. Can you just put in your name and your country so that we can really see where you're from, and it will be easier also for the interaction afterwards. I see most of you already have all their mics off. That's perfect. If you could have your video on also, that would be great so that we can see you, and the session might be also more interactive because of that. But we understand also if you can't. That's okay. We would prefer a video on, but it's okay off. And next thing also is we are a group of trainers actually that have thought of this little project. So we met last year during NSTT 2025. So I'll just introduce myself a little bit and then I'll pass on to everybody else. So I'm Joyce Clever from Mauritius. My journey in neurosemantics started in 2014 and I did my trainer in 2022. Last year, I met a group of committed trainers, and now we are all today for that little workshop together. So, right now, I pass on to my friends from the Philippines.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Jeff, all the way from the Philippines. As Joy said, we met last year in Egypt during our NSTT, and as group mates, we decided to stick together, and train together and grow together. Welcome to this first free webinar. Sandy.
Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Sandy from the Philippines. I've joined Neuro-Semantics last 2017, and I met the team last year at NSTT training. So welcome everyone. We hope you enjoy the day today. And I'm turning over to Ashvina.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So I'm Ashvina from Mauritius. So I'm a neurosemantics trainer and also a meta coach. And my journey in neurosemantics started in 2017. And I'm also a business consultant. So welcome you all to this session and we'll have a good time together. Thank you.
And
And I
now,
pass on to Dina.
Thank you, Ashvina. Good morning and good day for everyone, wherever you are. Hope you're all doing great. It's super exciting to see you all. I'm Dina from Egypt. My background was in business and management and sales, and got into neurosemantics beginning of 2025. Got to meet the team in Sharm el-Sheikh exactly a year from now, actually. And we're decided to do that collaboration, and hopefully we'll have a lot more to come. And so thank you for being here.
thank you, Dina. So we have also another team member in our team from last year. She was actually with us in the beginning, but she had other projects to work on, but she's here today. So Motsi, can you just say a quick word?
Good morning, bonjour, ni hao. Yes, my name is Mutidisi, all the way from South Africa. I'm happy that you made it this morning, this evening, this afternoon. I'm also a neurosemantic trainer and I'm also a meta coach. My journey started in 2015. I took a break. I came back 2019. So yeah, enjoy this session.
Thank you, Motsi. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
let's see.
So for today, for if you have questions, we will ask you either to type the questions in the chat, but we will take the questions mostly at the end, except if there's something that's really troubling you and you want an immediate answer. So we'll have a look at the chat during the session. So now we'll move to the next slide. So our session today is about managing stress. When we manage our stress, then we are in a better state. Our mind is clearer. In terms of emotion, it's more stable. And our thoughts also are clearer. And we can take decisions like with composure, clear decisions that we don't go into that overthinking mode when under stress. So the agenda for today is really about what is stress, the physiology of stress, the types of stress, but it's also under what is stress. Then we'll explore our stress levels, and that's a little activity that we will have together. And we will end with our takeaway, achieving a balanced life. So now I will pass on to Dina to cover what is stress. Thank you, Dina.
Thank you. Thank you, Joyce. So let's start with the very basic question. What is stress? So let me ask you, what is stress for you? And share with us in the chat. So stress essentially, it is our natural response for our mind and body when we perceive any kind of pressure, threat, or change. Whether that is real, happening in real life, or imagined. And this is how we get very creative most of the time. So, and this can happen in different contexts. Some will have it like at work or in relationships, maybe with finances, with life changes. And sometimes it's just like our everyday, like a commute every day. And that would be the source of stress. Like we're having here some examples, some if I have something stopping me from achieving, for example, or being overwhelmed or overthinking. So all of these are examples that will fall under the same concept or same definition. It's our perception of that something that is pressuring us one way or the other. Okay, so let's see on a continuum. There is a different levels of what stress can be like. Okay, so if there's a place where there's no stress whatsoever, that's probably no life. If there's nothing happening at all. If it's like further forwards, it's like low level of stress. Then when you have like every day is just like the day before, nothing's really happening that much. There's no challenges going on. So the state in that category would be maybe sleepy, disengaged, lazy. Some people even can get depressed because there's nothing really to excite them. There's nothing going on in life. And then there's the medium level. That's the healthy stress. That's where we want to be. This is when you're energized, you feel vitality, you feel alive and passionate, enthusiastic, playful, maybe. So, this is when we have the challenges to deal with and to keep us interested in life. You feel alive because there's something you're overcoming, there's something you're playing with, and you're growing essentially. Then when we go higher in the continuum, when it's high level stress, this is where it gets worrying. When you feel like there's a threat or there's sense of danger, distress. Um, some people get like angry, and sometimes it feels like in the body, people can get like sick because of too much stress. So, why we're talking about this, it's important that we actually define the situations we find ourselves in that we call stressful and see where should it be put. Because in some situations, we call something that is distressful as if it's like life-threatening. Well, actually, it belongs in that middle section. It's just there to give us energy, to keep us interested and engaged, and for us to grow. So to start, it's important to put the right label on whatever we're going through so we don't exaggerate and hurt ourselves by doing that, essentially. So let's talk about the physiology of stress. Okay, so like we mentioned, it's all about like what we think is going on, and that essentially reflects in our body. And if you've done the quiz, then these were the categories in the quiz. So we're having the acute stress, that's short term. Usually it's fleeting and it's there to improve our performance. So that's the good kind. Okay. There's the episodic acute stress, and this is for people who lead a hectic lifestyle, who deal with they regularly face high pressure situations, either at work or at home. So it's something that's medium but continuous. And then we have the chronic stress. Here, what happens, it's long-term stress for ongoing pressures, okay? Could be persistent workload, something that's going on for a long time, or unresolved personal issues that's also dragging on for a long time. Here, this can have a significant negative impact on our physical and mental health. So this is where we need to be careful. Okay, what does any kind of stress give us? Essentially, we're put in the stress response is fight or flight. Okay, this is what gets into our body, and this depends on your character. It's not, there's no like right or wrong. It depends on the kind of character. So some people like would face it head on, and some people would rather stay away from that. In all cases, our body releases hormones, stress hormones, like adrenaline and cortisol, essentially to help us respond quickly to something that's urgent and we need to pay attention to. What happens is we have faster heart rate and breathing. We've got like tense muscle tension. Our muscles get a bit tense, usually because we're ready to run, or increased alertness in general. So the point is like we're alert, we're there, we're paying attention to something that is important for us to pay attention to. While researching on the topic, I found something very, very interesting. Dr. Jill Bolt, she's a anatomist and author, and she has something called the 90-second rule. So essentially, that release of hormones and going through the body system until it's flushed out, that entire process, since we start feeling that emotion, takes 90 seconds. The entire process. Imagine that. I believe some of us would stay angry or frustrated for more than 90 seconds. Maybe. So what happens after that actually depends largely on what's going on in our minds, like the story we keep on telling ourselves. And that's where we get really creative because most of the time we know that also if in Neuro-Semantics that we think about our thinking and we have emotions about our emotions, and this is when things get to another level. So the reactions essentially are designed for us to cope with something that's important. If we're talking in the Middle Ages, if there was a lion in the area, we need to be alert. We need to be on guard. We need to make sure that we're ready to move. If there is like shortage in food and water, that's something to stress about because it's a threat to our livelihood. Now, if you're getting like close to an accident, that's something to be stressed about, to be alert. If the economy for example, is not going so well, and then there's something to maybe be a bit worried about, to be prepared, like, okay, how am I supposed to act on that? So the response is essentially there for us to cope. It becomes really problematic when it happens too often, or when it happens for a prolonged period of time. So when we have that state for over a long time. So the point here, it's not the events of life that stress us. It's really how we deal with it. That is what causes our stress. And this is where our power comes. So move it on to Joyce to explore our stress levels.
Thank you, Dina. So thank you for the definition, for the physiology of stress, and all the information that you shared with us. We will be sending a recording of the sessions, so don't worry, those who missed out things. And so now we will go to explore our stress levels. So what I will do is first I will read with you 2 slides, then we will go through a little induction together, and then we will break out in rooms. So maybe if we move to the next slide so that you can see. So how we are going to do that? So you will see there will be 4 steps. So step number 1 is really about exploring our energy level. So it's just for you to be self-aware about your energy level on a scale from 1 to 10, just like we do in Neuro-Semantics. And your vitality, your energy level, whether you're eating right, exercising, being aware of your sleep, and also are you getting enough challenge in your life? Because we need stress, as Dina mentioned, to feel, to be alive. So are we getting enough challenge to keep our interest? Step number 2 will be about our stress level. When it's really, as we know, stress is also exists in our mind, and it consumes our energy, and it can destroy our vitality. So then what stresses are in your life? Maybe it will be about in the traffic, getting the traffic every day. And that's okay, that's lasts not long. But it could be also about deadlines at work. It would be about pressure in the family. It could be financial pressure. So what kind of stresses do you have in your life? And what symptoms are you having if you are feeling stress? Is that fatigue? Is that muscles tension? Is that in your breathing? Is that some body pain that you're having? The third step, if we move to the next slide, will be about your distresses. So it's really what do you do to distress? Maybe some of you will go for breathing, some of you for walks, listen to music. Some of you might sing, maybe in your bathroom. Some of you might dance, put on some music. Some of you might go to the gym. So what activities recharge your batteries? And we will end with a little summary about your lifestyle changes. So being aware of all that, energy level and stress level. So what do you think you could change today itself in terms of your lifestyle? So just to mention that this is a little pattern actually that comes from emotional mastery. We've customized it a little bit. We are not doing the full pattern, but it comes from there. So now what I'm going to do is restart again. No, let's go back to the slide 1. Yes, we're going to restart again now. So I'm going to ask you just now to stop maybe writing. Maybe if you want to close your eyes, if you want to settle in your chair, relax. You don't need to look at the screen. That's not necessary. Take a deep breath. Okay, so now let's start. We're going to explore our energy level. So do you have plenty of energy for the things you do? And how much energy and vitality do you regularly feel? And what is your energy level? And where are you feeling that energy? On a scale of 1 to 10, how energetic are you? Are you eating right? Are you exercising regularly? How is your sleep? Are you sleeping well? How many hours of sleep are you getting? And are you getting enough challenge to keep your interest and engage you? So that was your energy level. Now let's explore your stress level. Stress exists in our mind, and stress consumes energy. What are your stresses? Is it about the work? Is it about your finance? Is it about family? Is it about relationship? Is it about your business? How often do you feel that stress? Is it daily? Is it once in a while? Or is it really there with you every day? And what are your stress symptoms? Is it about your muscle tension, feeling tight? Is it fatigue, body pain? And when you're stressed, what happens to your breathing? Any other symptoms of stress that you might have? So now let's think about your de-stressors. So what do you actually do to de-stress? Do you do something? Is it about breathing or exercising, yoga? What activities recharge your batteries? Take a time now to think at least of one. One activity that really helps you to de-stress and recharge your battery. Now that you have maybe one activity in mind, maybe you're not doing that every day. Maybe you have not done that for a long time. Is it the time now for you to change your lifestyle? Is there a decision that you could take today to take care of your stress, to de-stress when needed, and to create your sense of inner stability? So maybe this is something that you could note down actually. Starting today, what decision are you taking today in terms of lifestyle change? Could be as simple as getting enough sleep and sticking to that daily. I'm sure this resonates with a lot of us, including myself. So here we are. Hope you've enjoyed that one. We are going to do that again a second time when we are in the breakout rooms. But before going to breakout rooms, we will want to have a group photo with you because experience from wisdom call, as soon as we talk about breakout rooms, some people disappear. Hopefully today this will not happen, but maybe we're gonna stop sharing the slide right now. If you don't want to be in the photo, that's okay. You just put your video off. And I'm just waiting for Dina, voila. So if you don't want to be in the photo, put your video off. We hope most of you will be in the photo. I'm not seeing a lot of faces right now.
Marlon. All right. My friend from the
Ali,
Philippines.
Ali, Jeff, take over,
Okay,
please.
taking the photo in 3, 2, 1. Look at the camera and smile. One more.
I'm putting my video on.
Okay, Francois, waiting for you. Okay, smile. All right. Thank you, everyone. We can go back, Tina, to your slide share.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. So Dina will now show the slides again. So what you can do right now is take a picture of the two slides. So we start with step 1. So you can just take that picture of step 1. Là. So take a picture of this. And as soon as you're ready, we will show the next slide so that you take again a picture of the rest of the pattern. Voila, the next. It's okay. Okay, so now our maestro Jeff will put you into a little breakout room so that you can again walk through that pattern together. As I mentioned, this pattern, it's not a full-blown pattern from emotional mastery. We've removed some little things, but it's the skeleton is there, the baseline is there.
How long is the breakout room, Joyce?
5 minutes because now we're already 11:30.
Okay,
Yeah,
opening
well,
the
yeah,
breakout room.
Ali. 5 minutes in the breakout rooms.
Oh,
Yes, you're in the main room now.
We haven't finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. We were in the middle of it.
that's practicing
Oh,
the stress, how you handle the stress. So now you've succeeded because you know you can do it.
Yeah, once I found this note on the screen saying that we have a few more seconds, that was pretty stressful. Yes, that's right.
okay, so let's have a little debrief about that. So maybe we can close the slide just for 1 minute,
Sure.
Dina, or I don't know who's sharing,
Yes,
so that we
sure.
can see. So any feedback you have for us, any questions or anything that happened in those breakout rooms?
Yes, I have something to share.
Yes, Sama.
Well, right from the beginning, I just noticed that you made me see something very, very important clearly. I was just sharing this with Swine, and that is that I got to understand that stress is not to be totally eliminated. It's not like it is, the enemy that I have to defeat, but it's about managing it, and it is inevitable. And at the same time, minimum level of stress is important, and as you called it, it's challenges more than stress that actually keeps us feeling alive. So this is something that I have not noticed that clearly before. So thank you so much for sharing this idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you, Sama. Anyone
Thank you,
else?
Sama.
Jamie, it seems also to be in managing it, how much do I need to control, as if I equate managing to control, or I need to create the conditions for it to do what it has to do and go.
Yes. Like
Not
a kind of.
necessarily have a hand on it, like control and decide for it, but decide for herself and let it do its job. Yeah.
Yes. doing our inner work. Yes, totally, Marvin. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Very
you.
true.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so for me, it was
What's it?
like we experience stress most of the time. I don't know whether most of the time it's the right word because I was stressed that my partner didn't want to switch on the video and I wanted to see who am I talking to. I said, okay, this is another stress now.
It happens. True. Sometimes maybe people have also some technical issue also for the video. So yeah. Thank you, Mutsi. Anything else before we move on?
May I share something else?
Of course.
I already made a decision that I have, and again, thanks to you guys, that I have to write down my de-stress techniques because I always have them on mind, but I never actually see them clearly. So, and I once I got a few minutes to write them down, they made a great change for me because now I could see that I don't do them quite often. No wonder then that I'm not managing stress the way I should.
Yes, yes. Ah, thank you for that insight. And I'm sure that will be also that also can help all of us. So thank you, Samba.
If
Welcome.
I may, if I may share something,
Yeah.
Sure.
I think the breakout room was a bit too quick, so I couldn't share everything with my fellow with Summer who was with me. So I just wanted to add, like, having a stress-free life is impossible, I think, in my opinion. But I think it's very important to know which situations in life need my response and which situations just don't need my response and I have to let go. I think that is one very important message that we have to know to understand. We have to understand, I guess.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you.
Very
Beautiful
true.
insight. Thank you. Very true. And one last one.
Yeah, maybe I'll just add on that.
Question.
Yes, same. I think what I've realized in that short sharing in the breakout is that I I have managed to let go. I have to manage to let go of the stress that I can't control, and which is I know it's pulling me down. And this is something that, yeah, I used to walk and just eliminate, but now I really have to let go so that it really sinks in and, and just move on. Just keep not keeping on to it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. So letting go when it's not necessary. Yes. Great. So now maybe we can move on. Dina, if
Sure.
you want to share and take over, please. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the great insights for everyone to benefit from, definitely. So, actually, you've already shared some of the basic things that we could use to lead a more balanced lifestyle. So, if we think of it on a scale, like there are things we need to do less of, and other things we need to do more of. So, what we could use to do less of is the frequency of the stressors. So if it's in our hands that I don't have to get exposed to something that stresses me out so frequently and I have control over that, then this is a good choice to make. Another thing also, the duration. So, and let me give you an example here that's something that maybe we're not necessarily always aware of. Something as simple as like scrolling on social media and checking out the news, for example. So this is something, especially in the late, like a few years, I would say it's something that maybe a lot of us would be doing. Let's check how frequently, for example, do we get to do that during the day and the duration. So do I do it every hour or every half hour or just like once a day? So just noticing if we have control over, especially the simple things that could add stress to us, and managing it a little better, doing less of that. Also, when we face things, is being less problem oriented. Sometimes we dwell so much over the challenges that we're facing. And we keep on like going on, okay, so why and how did that happen and so on. And it's just like it pulls us down or drags us down to be more accurate. So instead of that, how about we do also more of being more solution oriented? So things happen. What am I going to do about it? Focusing on the solution actually directs our energy to a more useful place, something that will actually serve us. Like you mentioned, having a healthy habits. Like Joyce was saying, if it's like our sleep, or we're eating right, if we're exercising regularly, all these things make a big difference in our balance. Another thing has to do with how do we deal with these challenging situations? So we use it to practice our skills and our tools. So we're more equipped when we face bigger challenges. So that's also a framing, if you will, that we can do. So it's a chance for me to practice my skills and to be prepared when I get the chance to do so. I remember Dr. Michael Hall when he was giving the course about resilience. He mentioned that a lot of people attend the course when they need resilience, and it's much more, it's smarter, I would say, or it's better if we actually have these skills and have the tools beforehand, so they're readily available when we actually need them. So enhance our skills and tools. And if we think of ourselves as a system, like mind, body, emotional system, the point of thinking of ourselves as a system helps us because when we change one thing, it affects everything else. So, like Diane was mentioning, that some things I just need to let go of. So when I'm facing something, let me think mentally, how much control do I have over that? Do I have control over that to begin with or not? Usually we face this with people's um, attitudes or things like that. I know I did that with my daughter, for example. It's like, she's acting this way. This is not in my control. So sometimes we just need to accept it is what it is. That person is that's what they are. And then now we'll have energy actually to move to think of solutions. What can I do about it in my own control? Okay. So that's like on a mental level. Emotionally, what state am I in when I'm under that stress? Define that. Make it clear because it's so much easier to deal with things when we actually know what it is. So this is make someone violated my boundaries, so that makes me angry. Okay. And then I can texture that state. So it could be respectful anger. It could be calm, respectful anger. And that will change the nature of the state to begin with. And I'll be in a more resourceful state to deal with what I'm going through. Lastly, our body. We are essentially like houseplants. I like that. Like we need usually just like sunlight, air, and water. And sometimes depriving of ourselves of these very, very basic needs for our body puts stress on us that we live with for no good reason. So let's make sure that we have the basics. We breathe deep and well. We notice our breath. We hydrate. A lot of people I know that like have constant headaches just because of lack of hydration. And when we're facing a situation, sometimes also our body just like has too much energy, so we need to move, either to move to get that thing that's been hanging over my head for so long, taking a small step will release that stress. Sometimes going out for a walk or stretching, even if at the house for 10 minutes will take that stress away. And sometimes our bodies just need to rest. Sometimes we're overexhausting ourselves, not having enough sleep. So at that point, we need to realize, okay, my body just needs some rest. So it recharges and helps me do what I need to do. So these are just like basic pointers that we can walk with today. And what is next? So we will be going more in depth in this topic in our live workshops. We will be having one in Egypt in July. I'll be accompanied, inshallah, with Hiba and Sarah. Hi, Hiba and Sarah.
And we'll be having a second one in Mauritius on the 29th of August. So me and Joyce will be facilitating this workshop. More details will follow.
Okay, and we're going to have them in the Philippines in September, so details will follow as well.
All right.
So we would like to thank you all for your attendance today and your participation. It was a pleasure to have you and our group. We are very happy we made it happen. We've been talking
Yes.
about it for a couple of months now. So thank you and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much. You've all been great. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank you
time.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Have a
See
great
Thanks,
you.
weekend.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Till
Thanks
the
for the
next
sharing and
session.
the insights.
We'll see you soon.
See you.
Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Maybe you
John.
can
Bye.
remove a
Bye,
slide.
Hans.
Ali. Bye-bye.
All
Thank you.
right.
Bye.